Hello everyone, welcome back to my No Buy Year. Today I'm going to be talking about shopping for my Halloween costume. So part of my reasons for sharing this is because I'm committed to full transparency about everything I buy this year, sharing everything that I purchase, and I also wanted to share what it was like to shop again at this time during my No Buy Year. Some of you in the audience might be thinking, oh, there she goes being hypocritical again, buying stuff on her No Buy Year. And to that I say, yes I am. Sorry. I did list a Halloween costume as an exception, as a pre-planned exception on January 1st, because I don't currently have any kind of costume options for my work Halloween. They have a concert where we're supposed to dress in costume, or we have the option to dress in costume, and I've actually never participated in it. I've been out of town both of the years that I've been here. But this year I think I will be in town, and I would like to join in the fun of having a costume. The other aspect of this is that I would like to have a performance costume for my program of pop covers. So my decision was to intermingle these two things and make my costume for the work concert the same as the costume for my pop programs. My kind of future goal of like, this is my pop persona, perhaps. And what is my costume? Well, I guess I'll just come out with it. My costume is essentially being a version of Paris Hilton, or, you know, kind of the Y2K 90s hot girl kind of persona. So what I did was I went on Mercari and Poshmark and eBay and just looked around for these iconic pieces, namely a Juicy Couture tracksuit or something similar, a pair of sunglasses, emblematic of the era, a small handbag, and some shoes. So I was trying to get a full outfit, and I started on Mercari, where I got some of the sweatsuit pieces. So there was a listing that was selling this set. So it's these pink pants, and they are vintage Juicy Couture. So the pink pants and a pink top with a little back graphic. And then it also came with a jacket, a black jacket. And the thing is, the black would actually be a very appropriate costume for the orchestral concerts, because normally we wear concert black. And I don't really want to stick out too much in having a costume. So my ideal would be something like this, a black tracksuit. And I did go ahead and get the matching pants. And I had to get those new. So I guess I'll go get those so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the pants with the iconic butt graphic there. And if this seems a little incongruous with how I dress in real life, then you would be kind of right. But I guess that's part of the point, right? My pop star persona is supposed to be fairly opposite to my real life identity. It's kind of like how Beyonce has her Sasha Fierce moniker for stage performances. At least as far as I know, that's what it was. But yeah, it's my performance persona for pop music as a classical musician. So that's why it's kind of weird like that. So I have the two tracksuits, a vibrant pink one, which I see myself wearing for like the girl anthem pop covers, and then the black one, which might be for orchestral concert costumes. And I intend to wear this costume year after year. Mark my words. I'm going to be that violist who's always Paris Hilton, and hopefully it'll be funny. But I now have those two options, and I'll wear the black one for other genres of pop program as well. I have some like rock songs, but not to get too much into this. Hopefully some of this will be on my music channel by now. It might not, because I'm still focused on auditions, but that is the eventual plan. I also got this shirt off of Mercari to wear under. So again, classic Y2K lace trimmed cami. I got some sunglasses. So these are, you know, they're the non-functional kind of clear sunglasses, so I can wear them to perform. And it came with a couple. There's a Juicy Couture pair as well as these clear ones. These ones are a little more real sunglasses, but they're, you know, they're supposed to be emblematic of the era, and I'm still able to, especially these clear ones, I can see through them and function at work wearing these and look suitably ridiculous, right? And if I need the case, I can use the case as an accessory. It is a Juicy Couture one. It's a little worse for wear, kind of beat up, but that's getting it secondhand. Sticking with the theme of juicy couture, I got these sandals as well, also off Mercari. All of this was very reasonably priced as well. I did not keep track of those details, and this isn't really about the financial cost, so forgive me if I don't track those down just for this video. But yes, the sandals that'll match both the black and the pink, and perhaps the end capping piece is this little handbag. So this was one of those things that I was hemming and hawing on, because do I really need another handbag in any capacity? Not really. Should I justify it as part of a Halloween costume? I don't know. But then this one popped up. It might have been on Poshmark, and I think it was very reasonably priced, like $20 or less. It's a Dooney & Bourke vintage purse that's in really good condition. It's got a little heart charm and a rainbow zipper, which I'm not gonna lie, I was intrigued by the rainbow zipper. I was attracted to that just objectively. But the idea with this, again, is to use one of my kids' little puppy stuffed animals and put this in the bag so that I can be carrying around my little chihuahua a la Paris Hilton, I think. She did that, or was known for doing that. Somebody was known for doing that back then. I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 93, so I might not have been old enough to quite understand everything that was going on in that era, but it does speak to me as fairly iconic as somebody who grew up in that era. So this stuff is supposed to be my kind of forever Halloween costume and long-term pop performance costume. Now, the experience of shopping was altogether not that fun, to be honest. So the acquisition of new things still has an element of fun to it, I'm not gonna lie. However, the time it took to track down these items, to do like the comparison research, to go through, especially for the purse, there were many Dooney & Bourke, because once I saw some of these, I started looking for the brand specifically. There are many examples of this kind of bag in varying conditions and varying patterns and prints. I was initially kind of looking for a small bag with some kind of rainbow graphic, kind of like the Louis Vuitton ones that were like white with the rainbows. Like I remember that as a core accessory from that time period. But this one came up with the colorful graphics, and I don't really want to support, you know, Louis Vuitton dupes or anything like that. So I was much happier with an option like this that was similar but different. And I do think that the canvas is still evocative of that Louis Vuitton style that was really big at the time. So all in all, the shopping experience was not desirable. The time felt like a huge waste. It took pretty much a whole day of trawling online to track down the items, and then I liked them and kind of sat on it for a few more days and made some offers, because that's a kind of hack of mine when you're shopping secondhand. If you make an offer that's a reasonable offer, right, close to the asking price, it'll ensure that the seller is active, right? You don't buy something and then it turns out they're out of town, or it turns out that the account is defunct and they just have listings. So I made a couple of offers and ended up with the complete costumes that you saw before you. And the other part that was icky about it was not just the time spent on my phone, to be honest, because I still have Mercari on there since I'm selling my own things. It wasn't just the time on my phone and kind of half ignoring my kids when I was looking at things, and, you know, I put it down when it was time to do things with them and stuff like that. But those of you who have kids will know you're kind of always available for them when you're in the same house. So when you're trying to do something as well, it's kind of difficult to prioritize when in your heart your priority is always giving your kids the attention, but you are in a practical sense trying to get something done. So it becomes a little bit difficult to do other things that seem meaningless, like shopping. At least that's where I'm at now, and I'm happy to report that. And that's kind of a result of my no-buy year. I always felt that emotional clash if I was shopping before in the times where I had kids. It's not that I've never felt that, but the fact now is that I realize that it's such a meaningless activity to be even trying to do that it just feels different, and I feel the meaninglessness of it more. Even though this was kind of like I won't say this is a need by any stretch of the imagination, but this was a purchase that I had planned from January 1st of this no-buy year. I planned it from last Halloween, to be honest, and it was an exception that I had decided to allow, and a shopping occasion that I had decided to allow. I kind of foresaw this shopping happening, even though I could not have foreseen my feelings towards it being so repulsed from the shopping experience. The thing that extended the ickiness of it was receiving these individual packages in the mail, because each piece came individually. The 3 pieces of the sweatsuits, the pink suit and the jacket, the black jacket, came together, but everything else was its own little package. And waiting for however many packages that was, 6 or 7 packages, was really something else this time. And that would have been the norm for me a year ago, 2 years ago, to have 7 pieces of mail coming. That wouldn't have been completely unheard of. But now it was like, ooh, this feels gross. To know that the resources are being spent to bring these 7 items from the corners of the world to me, to know that I would have all this packaging coming to me to open up, throw away, take all the tissue paper out of, and all that kind of stuff. It just really hit different. And in comparison to this being a regular kind of normal occurrence in years past, the contrast was huge. And in some ways, it was almost like a valuable educational experience to have done this shopping for the Halloween costume, even though it's so in contrary to the no-buy. And I feel a little bit nervous about presenting it here because of the hypocrisy. Shopping on the no-buy year. Planned shopping on the no-buy. I mean, the planned aspect of it is supposed to make it non-hypocritical, but I can't help but feeling that the experience of shopping for things you don't need when you're trying to be a more conscious consumer and doing a no-buy year is a little bit contradictory. But I guess experiencing that contradiction and sharing it is part of what makes this a real journey, a representation of the human experience where conflict is kind of inevitable at times. And it's your response and your feelings and how you move on from that conflict that define the experience more than the actual incident of conflict. And I realize that by being somebody who shares this journey publicly on social media, I may be opening myself for all sorts of judgment and hate comments, and bring it on. I look forward to reading the nuances of any criticism, if there is any, and using that to spark further reflection in myself. That's not a challenge, mind you. I'm not asking to be judged or have hate comments, but I will try to use them in a positive way if I receive any. In summary, I shopped for a Halloween costume, and it was not a pleasant experience, but now I have stuff. Growing up as a kid, I always had repurposed Halloween costumes. It was always made up of clothes that I already had. If we bought anything, it would really only be the accessories. For example, if I was going to be a witch, I would dress in my all-black clothing and then have a witch's hat, perhaps. I would also DIY a lot of accessories, and I took pride in doing that as a kid. So I was never in a household where you bought pre-made Halloween costumes. And so far, for my own children, I have not done that either. We've done clothing that they can use for regular everyday life, and added a few accessories. There was a year where we were the boy band from the movie Turning Red. So we did get a panda plush accessory just because my kids really like that movie anyway, so they play with that panda just on an everyday basis. And then the boy band wore white. They wear all white. So I have a lot of all white clothing, or not a lot, but I have enough white clothing to make an outfit. And then my kids got some white sweatpants that they still wear, and a t-shirt, white t-shirt with the band emblem on it. And again, since it's my kid's favorite movie, one of them, they wear that shirt, they wear those clothes very frequently. So it's not like it was a Halloween costume purchase. And then more recently, they've done the princess thing. But again, the princess dresses are things that they wear on a regular basis, on a very regular basis, even when we're trying to discourage them from putting on the princess dresses because we're about to eat or something and they're gonna have to take them off. But anyway, that's kind of the history of Halloween in my life. I would love to hear your stories as well if you'd like to share in the comments. What have you done for Halloween costumes? Do you like Halloween? Do you not like Halloween? Do you think it's stupid and consumeristic with costumes and candy and all that? I will say we're not that big on the candy, and at least so far in my history of Halloween with my own kids, we get some candy. We've gone to the zoo. Our local zoo has a Halloween event, and we get candy there. We eat as much as we can of it in one night, and then that's it. So that our dental nightmare is just for that one experience, and it doesn't extend over days and weeks and expose our teeth to the sugar and possible cavities. I'm very sensitive to that with my own history of teeth issues. You better believe my kids are getting their teeth flossed every day by this hypochondriac mom. Hopefully they can continue that habit when they're old enough to do it independently. Okay. With that massive tangent, I think I will leave you there today. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.